Hello guys and welcome back. So now in this video we will add our zombie AI. So first of all let's turn off the gizmos. Let's scroll down a little bit and right here we will add our first zombie. Okay, so in the zombies folder we have this zombie 1 which we have added in the previous video. Let's first of all click on the zombie, and in the rig the animation type is generic as you can see, and right here on the avatar definition click on this create for this model and then simply click on apply, and this will actually create an avatar for this model, and we will use this avatar when we will be adding animator to the zombie. Okay, now with that done, let's simply drag and drop this inside the environment. Let's drag him down in the hierarchy. Let's click on this and click on unpack completely. Then create an empty parent for this, and let's name this parent as zombie1. Click on this, name this as body, and let's remove the animator for now. Okay, right here on the zombie 1, first of all we will add the AI system, and let me tell you how our AI system will work. So consider this and this walk points. Okay, so when we are outside the zombie attacking range and the chasing range, okay, for example this circle will be the zombie attacking range. Okay, and this red circle will be the zombie pursuing, or you can say follow range. Okay, so when we are far away from the zombie, okay, for example if the player is standing somewhere right here, then what the zombie will do, the zombie will walk towards these walk points. Okay, he will walk inside these walk points. When he come to this walk point, he will walk back to that point, and we will have more than two walk points. Okay, how many walk points you want to add to the zombie? So the zombie will simply walk between that walk points, okay, like this. And when this player comes inside this pursue, or you can say this running range of the zombie, then the zombie will know that yes, there is the player, and the zombie will simply follow the player. Okay, now for example if the zombie is standing right here, then as you can see this is the zombie attacking range. Okay, this yellow circle. Then if this player is then inside the attacking circle, then the zombie will simply attack the player. And I know this kind of animated lecture is a little bit funny, but you get the point. Simply our zombie will have three state. The first one will be the, you can say the walking, or you can say the guarding. He will be walking inside these walks point here and there. And the second state will be the pursuing, or you can say the running state. And when the player comes inside the pursue radius, then the zombie will simply run towards the player. And when the player comes inside the attacking radius or the attacking circle, then the zombie will simply attack the player. And when the player is outside the attacking range, then the zombie will simply follow up the player. So you get the point. Our zombie will have three states. The first one will be the guarding, or you can say the walking. The second one will be the pursuing player, and the third one will be the attacking. Now enough of this, let's select our zombie and let's create a script for our zombie by the name of zombie1. Let's click on this zombie1, let's attach the script, and let's open up the script in Visual Studio Code. Right here, first of all remove these two functions, and at the top let's add a header. So this header will be by the name of zombie things, and in here we simply need a reference to our player layer mask. So we will say public layer mask. Let's name this as player layer, for example. Okay, then after this we will add another header, and inside this header we will type zombie guarding, or you can actually name this as walking if you want, but I will name this as guarding. So guarding var, or you can say variable. In here we will create an array for the walk points, so we will simply say public game object, we will add these brackets, this means that this is an array, okay, and we will name this as walk points. This will be the walk points of the zombie. Then we will create an integer by the name of current zombie position, and by default this will be equals to 0. After this we will create a public float by the name of zombie speed, and then let's create another float. This will be the private float, okay, you can name this as private float as well, and this will be the walking point radius. By default let's set this to 2, and after this let's create another header, and inside this header this will be the more zombie, you can say states or moods or whatever you want. Let's name this as zombie mood slash states. In here let's create a public float by the name of vision radius. This will be the radius for the zombie, and when the player comes inside the vision radius then the zombie will run towards the player, okay. And then let's create another float by the name of attacking radius, and this will be basically the attacking radius. When the player is inside the attacking radius then the zombie will simply attack. And after this let's create a bool by the name of player in vision radius. So if the player is inside the vision radius then we will set this to true, else this will be set to false. And then let's create another public bool by the name of player in attacking radius, okay. And guys, we also need a reference to our zombie nav mesh agent as well. So in the zombie things right here let's create a public nav mesh agent, and let's name this as zombie agent, okay. And also we need a reference to a look transform, and I will tell you what this look transform will do. And actually we will be adding this in the future videos, so I will tell you what this look point will do, but for now let's just add this, okay. Now we have all of the variables set up. Let's quickly assign the zombie node mesh agent. So we will say zombie agent equals to get component, and the component will be the nav mesh agent, okay. After this let's create the update function now, and in the update function we will check few things. But first let's assign the things to the player in vision radius and in player in attacking radius, okay. Right here what we will do, we will simply use the Unity physics, okay, and we will check if the player is inside the vision radius. Then what we will do, we will simply set this player in vision radius to true. So right here let's type player in vision radius, let's equal this to physics dot check sphere, and in here we will say transform dot position, okay, and then we will say vision radius and then the player layer, okay. So this will be the zombie position, and right here we have the vision radius and then the player layer. And let's do the same for the player in attacking radius as well. So we will say physics dot check sphere, and in here we will simply type the same thing. So let me copy this, paste it down below, just change this to attacking radius, and this will be same as player layer. Now we will say that if the player is not in vision radius and also the player is not in the attacking radius, then what we will do, we will simply call a function which will be by the name of guard. Okay, and in this guard function we will type all of the AI code in which the zombie will walk towards different walk points. Okay, so after this update, let's create this function. Now let's type private void guard, and in here let's first of all check that if the player is close to one walk point or not, and if the player is close to one walk point, he completed the one walk point. Okay, for example, these are the two walk point. So if the player comes to this walk point, okay, then this walk point will be completed. Then what we will do, we will add an if condition and check if the player comes to this walk point, and if he comes to this walk point, then we will search around in the environment for another walk point, and then it will find this walk point. So we will tell the zombie to walk towards this walk point. Okay, let me close that. So right here, let's first of all check that if the zombie is close to one walk point or not. We will say vector3 dot distance, and in here we will first check the walk point. Okay, so we will say walk point current zombie position. If that two are the same, okay, it means that yes, the zombie is close to the walk point. Okay, and then we will say transform dot position, and if these two are less than the walking point radius, okay, it means that if the zombie is getting closer to the walk point, then this walking point radius will be greater than this. Okay, then what we will do in that case, we will simply find another walk point. Okay, so let's say current zombie position is equals to random dot range. Okay, first we will pass 0, and then we will pass the walk points dot length, and then we will say current zombie position is greater than equals to walk points dot length, and the code is simple as that. Then the current zombie position will be 0. So now we have find another walk point. Now let's move the zombie to that walk point. So for that, what we will do, we will simply say transform dot position. Okay, then we will use the vector 3 dot move towards, and where we want to move to the new walk point. So first we will get the zombie position, then we will tell that move this position towards the walk point. So we will say walk points, and then we will say current zombie position dot transform dot position. Okay, now the zombie position, or you can say the zombie will walk towards this position, and we will at the end we will say time dot delta time. We will make the movement time dependent. Okay, and then we will multiply that by the zombie speed, which is right here. Okay, and after that we want to change the zombie facing as well. So right here type change zombie facing. but let's just leave this for now. Okay, we have everything set up right here. Let's save this. And guys, as you know that we are using the navmesh agent on this script, so at the top make sure that you type using unityengine.ai, okay, and then save this. Now if we get back to the Unity, right here we have the zombie script. Let's first of all add the navmesh agent to our zombie. As you can see, let me turn on the gizmos. Okay, the navmesh agent is set up correctly. Now what we can do is simply let me minimize that, add the zombie agent there. Right here we need to add the look point. Okay, so right here let's focus up on the player. Let's create a empty object in here and let's name this as look point. Okay, and as I told you, we will work on this look point in future videos, so then I will tell you what this look point will do. For now, just ignore it. Right here we need to assign the player layer. So as you can see, we didn't tag or add a layer to our player, so let's first of all tag this as player and let's create a layer for this as well. So we will say player. Now add the player layer to it. Now let's click on the zombie. Let's add the player layer. Right here we need to provide the walk points, and as I told you, you can add different walk points, for example 4, 5, 6 or whatever you want. Okay, but for now I will simply add 2 walk points. Okay, so right here, okay, on the ground, let's create an empty game object. Let's name this as walk points. Okay, and in here let's create another empty game object and let's name this as walk point 1, and also let's define that this is the zombie 1 walk point 1. Okay, and let's move this down below to the ground. Make sure that this walk point is on the surface, okay, on the ground. So make sure to move it down below like this. Okay, now as you can see, it is on the ground. Let's move it there. This will be the zombie first walk point. Let's duplicate this, and 1 and 1, when we add it, it becomes 2, so zombie walk point 2. Now let's drag and drop that somewhere there. Okay, let's turn off the gizmos and let's click on the zombie. As you know, we have created 2 walk points for the zombie, so right here in the array add 2, and let's drag and drop the walk point 1 and walk point, whoops, walk point 2. Okay, now the zombie will walk between these 2 walk points. Let's set the zombie speed. For now, let's just set this to something 3, and vision and attack radius, we don't have the function for the attack or the chasing, or you can say pursuing the player, so for now we can just leave this as empty. But what this will do, if we set the vision radius as 10 and the attacking radius as 2, then if the player comes in the vision radius, the zombie will simply stop. Okay, because we have created these two things, and you will know when we play the game. Okay, so let's start the game and let's run towards the zombie. As you can see, now the zombie is walking towards the walk point. Okay, he is walking between the walk points, as you can see. Okay, right here the zombie first walk point, and then somewhere right there is the zombie second walk point, as you can see. So now the zombie is walking between these walk points. You can add 3 or 4 walk points if you want. Okay, feel free to do that. And now when we come inside the vision radius, you will notice that, as you can see, the zombie is stopped. But we will type a code for this, that when we come inside the vision radius, then the zombie will run towards us. Okay, and when we are in the attack range, as you can see now, it becomes true as well. When we are in the attack range, then the zombie will simply attack on us. And for now we don't have any collider on the zombie, so that's why we are walking inside the zombie body. Okay, now with this done, let's end this video right here, and I hope you understand how this all works now. So catch you guys in the next one.